mean air guitars and get ready for the intro stage. We'll be there in just a moment. As we watch boat runners starting. And off we go to the intro stage. Yep. As you all remember, the intro stage will be a lot of holding right and mashing. Thank you, Restreamer, for evening out the runners' timers there. It's much appreciated. Oh, we have some big days already in the chat. We'll be pretty hype if we got some big days here. It'd be really nice to see either of these runners, BB of course. Oh, Ultra taking a little bonk on the blue guy. Not really what you want, but not really a big deal either. Crystal taking on a 1 bonk B as he goes through there. But Ultra did take a lot of damage. We need to be careful. Stream's going everywhere. Oh, and he gets another passive, so he really needs to be careful. Taking 2 bonks here would be dangerous. And this is quite a curse for Ultra. I mean, he did mention, if I'm not mistaken, after his race with me, that in all of his races so far, he got double passive Bs. With it, which is a pain to deal with. You can't really do anything except take the second B from the front, and that does cost you a lot of time. You will drop down and have to climb back up. Yeah, this costs you a bunch of time for nothing. Crystal, however, seems to have picked up some extra HP. He's got a lot of health right now, so boat runners will be going for task cars to help them lose some HP on the way to the ship. Seem to be easily successful at that. Crystal apparently has not forgotten how to play this game. It's always good to see. So does have to make a little bit of change in his movement so the car doesn't drop on his head. Mind you, if you've ever tried it IRL, having a car drop on your head is rather painful. And while popping up there, while actually wanting to get up real close with Crystal for a 158 grab, that's really nice. It's a good intro time. And we have a 204 for Ultra on the grab. Also, as I see it mentioned in chat, there is, I believe, indeed a Mega Man relay elsewhere later in the day. For anyone very interested in Mega Man related stuff, I will check up on the information for that later. Not exactly sure when it gets hosted. So, off we go to our first Maverick, as usual, Chill Penguin, or Icy Penguigo, if you enjoy your Japanese translations. It's very fitting for this time of year to do Penguin first, of course, as you know, it's starting to go to winter, holidays, snow, you know, it's pretty cool. The only thing we don't get in this place is a bunch of snowman. Ultra needs to be a bit careful. Did not kill the 1 bunny, meaning that you're almost guaranteed to bonk it, or you need to really alter your movement very heavily. So we see a little bit of a lead for Crystal so far. Still a lot of race to go, so I wouldn't get too worried about this race yet, going to aces for either one of them. But that 1B in the intro definitely cost Ultra some time, and I think that will be most of what you see here. That and maybe a little bit in this climb. So, both players looking to pick up their dash boots and getting the speed going. Will be rather interesting to see. And Crystal getting the no-stop hallway and Penguin. And also nice to see is that Crystal has always been someone who wants to promote very good dashing. It's worth mentioning that if you play this game, your dashes are very important, as if you do not chain them correctly, you always lose like a bit of frames, and it can eventually amount to a lot of time loss if it really stacks up. So you want to extend your dashes as long as possible, and then even extend them with a jump. Ultra taking a couple bonks to the snowballers. Meanwhile, Crystal is on Penguin, looking for the no slides, and second slide. I'll try to count them for both of these runners. We have 1 for Ultra. It's not looking too bad right now. We have a 3-slide penguin for Crystal, which is very, very acceptable, but Ultra seems to be getting a little bit worse of a penguin here, already up to 4 or 5 slides. Whew. Penguin not being nice to him right now. But he does get a nice kill to finish off with, so... Penguin actually a little bit off screen, that's quite rare. I have not really seen that happen a lot before. That he jumps that high. And then second stage, as always, will be one of the harder stages in the game, which is CrystalUnclear. So Crystal looking up to climb this tower. All the way to go fight that little beetle on the top. Have it lance with him. The stage is pretty technical, it's hard to execute, it involves some damage boosts and requires some good movement to get through. And small mistakes here can actually lead to a fair amount of loss. As you see there on Ultra, you had like a little missed grab there on the ladder, and you bonk on a random enemy, you fall down a little bit, it can cost you a lot of time easily. Turtle there trolling him, not allowing him to get through for free, and he needs to be a bit careful here because he did take a lot of damage, so if he touches anything now he will be really low and definitely in kill range for CrystalUnclear. Might have to care a little bit. Crystal already on the outside climb, seems to be doing pretty well for himself. And we do see also took another small hit there. He's not in a one-shot range for CrystalUnclear, but if he makes any other mistakes, it will get pretty darn close. Crystal gets a little bit of... Ah! Look, there we go, there we have it. See, you get one bonk there on the final climb on Crystal's side, and you fall down a whole bunch, and when you climb back up, the chaining of all the bullets suddenly becomes really bad, and can really cost you a lot. So, CrystalUnclear, we're looking for a dance here. Oh, Crystal does not get it. We'll have to fight this. Oh, never mind. Decides he does want to dance with CrystalUnclear and pulls him into it elsewhere on the screen. That's perfectly possible, as long as you remain your cool. It's not really a big deal. And he finishes him off with the 721. That's pretty nice. And we see CrystalUnclear exploding right as Ultra enters the room. And does get a nice and clean dance going. No dirty dancing out here. CrystalUnclear actually giving him very nice teleports, not crossing the room too much. Except at the end there a little bit, but that was very, very acceptable. You want him to do short teleports so he doesn't take up a lot of your time. Crystal moving on to the chameleon stage. Nothing too special about the stage. It's really the hardest part about it is that you need to get through this cave, and as you can see, like the blocks falling down can be pretty nasty. They're completely RNG, and if you're unlucky, they fall in a kind of pattern that there's not really much you can do about. They'll cost you a lot of time if you bonk into them, but you know, still kind of annoying. And then we have the freestyle swamp. Crystal actually dodging out on all the drops pretty nicely. Isn't really looking to pick up any HP. And meanwhile Ultra does get a little bit trolled by a couple blocks. Takes one to the face. It's not really fun to get rocks in your face. Believe me, I tried it once, it was not fun. And then of course we get Chameleon himself. Arguably one of the most free fights. It's actually kind of funny because, you know, you often see speedrunners do amazing things where you think, oh wow, I've never knew this in casual or this or that. And I think Chameleon is one of those things where there's no difference between casual gameplay and a speedrun, except that you might chain your hits a little bit better in a speedrun. But this boss is so free that, you know, that's the unlock. It's just so easy. Not even a casual player just looks at the speedrun and goes like, I can do that. And you know what? You can. Just try it at home. It's pretty safe. So, with that, Chameleon going down, never to be seen again. Well, at least not for the next, I don't know, let's say 18 minutes or so, if I need to guess. And Crystal moving on to the airport, looking to go to and finish off Jerkbird number 2, also known as Storm Eagle. Does he go for that kick? No, we know that kick. He was a little bit late on his platforms there to even attempt it. Very sad, because that kick means a high probability of death and a lot of probability of hype. But instead we just gonna watch people carry on their boring speedrun ways without no deaths. Dang it. Oh, we have a little bit of a detour here for Ultra. Looks to be picking up a safety item on the top here, grabbing the sub tank. And meanwhile, Eagle's spawning over on Crystal's side. The good thing about the route that Ultra took in this section, it means that he has a bit more safety on the platforms, so you don't really risk too much. The platforms are in a slightly safer pattern, I would say, because they're more like the Hundo pattern, and it's a bit easier, I would argue. Meanwhile, Crystal did not really get any dives. He had a one-time Eagle going up and coming down with a hover again. Nothing too special there. That's really good. You really don't want Eagle to dive. It costs you a bit of time no matter how you turn it. And we have Eagle going up for eggs. Scrambled eggs. Oh, again a no dive Eagle. Oh. I don't know if it's me being on commentary, but every time I do commentary I see Eagle doing little to no dives. I don't know. Perhaps I just do commentary on people attempting world record runs or something. Could be a good idea. So Crystal moving on to Mandrill, another very technical stage, and now actually going to the mini boss that is legit harder than some of the actual Mavericks. Thunder Slimer being quite an RNG boss for being halfway a stage, can cost you a lot of time if you go super aggro. Crystal, however, got a fairly decent pattern here, so didn't have too much issues with it. And both of them applying a lot of tornado strats throughout the stage. Crystal getting a bit of a odd movement on those ladders as the cars were trying to chase him. Oh, Ultra trying to go up with his tornadoes, but as he gets shot down by the by the water balls or slime balls or whatever they are from Thunder Slimer, I guess slime balls would be correct there. He just and you get this bouncy pattern a little bit at the end. That's really annoying to deal with. You don't want him to do that because it costs you a lot of time. Now we have Mandrill going up on Crystal's side. Really wants to punch you right out. As we saw the other day with a certain other runner. Shall not name for safety reasons. Yeah, Crystal actually not having too many issues. Doesn't really get punched in the face. And makes decent work out of Mandrill. Also, it's good to know in the race setting, if you really want to, you can take Mandrill super safe and play in the casual way, where you just chain the stuns and freeze them over and over. I'm sorry, unnamed runner in the chat. Right, so Crystal taking Mammoth right now as 6th here in the route. Mammoth can be fit in anywhere, doesn't really matter. If you want to do him number 8, do him number 8. You want to do him 5, 6, 7, it's also fine. The stage is not really difficult, it's pretty free. And the only difference that you mostly see in the stage is people perhaps picking up the safety hard, and if they use any special weapons in the midway section. Other than that, this is straight up right movement and let's go. Oh, just taking a little bong there from the ball and chain guy. and entering the Mammoth fight. And Ultra actually does seem to be delaying his Mammoth visit a little bit longer as he goes and visits the Dillo stage. Probably one felt like having a little break on his run. Wants to ride some cards. Give his hands a bit of a break here. And in case you were wondering why there is not too much Tornado to be seen on the Crystal side, I do believe he plays in 30 FPS, meaning streams in 30 FPS, meaning that sometimes you do see the tornadoes appearing. I know it looks a little bit funny sometimes, but you know, it's actually kind of funny to see. Because you think, oh, wow, he's not even doing anything and the boss dies. What a god. It's that powerful. How is he generating that much power? So Ultra picking up an extra safety heart in between his two cart rides. And Crystal being on the same stage now, starting his own Mandrill cart ride, Joy. And Ultra just taking a cool final jump onto the fight with Dillo. That's arguably, for me, the coolest jump in the game, where you can just go and take a super fast jump all across that pit, where you're like, wow. You have the speed from the cart. Oh boy, rolls on for Ultra. And then dashing on top of it. It's really nice. Not too many rolls, however, for Ultra. Dillo gets out of it quite quickly. Does seem to feel like doing a couple extra rolls, which is kind of annoying. You can still hit him while he's rolling when he loses armor, so it's not really a big deal, but it will still lose you a bit of time, since it does kind of throw off your timing a little bit, I guess. You can't really chain the hits very nicely. And Crystal now moving into the Dillo fight as well. I would dare say that we are about a stage apart between the two of them. Crystal looking for good RNG, and well, gets about the same RNG as Ultra did. Perhaps a couple extra rolls. No. Dillo playing it nice, not giving anyone the 10-second roll treatment. It's always nice when he does that. And going kaboom. Ultra meanwhile going for a swim, taking down the first sub in the Octo stage. Looking for some HP refill and gets it. You do really want to stay healthy for Octo in any percent. It's quite a hard boss to face, skill-wise. He has a lot of projectiles going on. You cannot really avoid getting hit in that fight. I mean, you can, but it's really difficult. And especially if you... Ultra! Watch out for the spikes, my boy! Gee. He actually made it. That's not very hype. Yeah, so Crystal now also moving to the Octo stage. Finally the board is going down on Ultra, you know, the one that you never get to see. It's pretty sad. Although in any percent at least he makes a little bit of an appearance. In 100% you shoot a charged tornado through his head while he's still underground. It's kind of boring. So Octo here, we're looking ideally for no swirlies, which Ultra definitely isn't getting, because he decides that he wants to cut the Octo's arms off. Meaning that he only has one attack left. He can shoot missiles, those little three that you see there. And perhaps it was not a very bad idea of Ultra to do so, because it was very low on HP here. So if you get multiple attacks from Octo, it could prove more dangerous. There will be a lot more projectiles, just the swirlies, and it can really cost you a lot of time if you have to take it careful. Crystal as well showing boomerangs here. Both of the runners really saying, nah, I'm not taking any swirlies from you. The only thing that you need to hope for at that point is that Octo does not go and start a swirly attack right before you cut off his arms, because that kind of defeats the purpose of why you were doing this in the first place. But it looks like he's not going to be like that today. Also... Okay, I am... Oh, dear God, yes! Ultra! Okay, I just realized what he's doing, but Ultra went top route and in Mammoth stage. This is legit an option. This means that the camera scrolls up and you get a camera lock, and it means that you actually have a giant pit in the Mammoth stage. Wow, okay, I did not realize for a second what was going on there because I was looking at Crystal's fight. But yeah, there is legit an opening in the ceiling on the Mammoth stage where you can go on top of the stage. It's... Actually, I'm amazed that he did that. Wow, that's really cool. However, you do need to be careful. You do skip some of the stage, but if you fall down anywhere, you're quite a goner. But as we can see, Ultra has clearly done this before. So, makes it through nicely with a lot of spec ones. Oh, Crystal! Takes it dead and he's bonking down. He remembers that he needs to lose HP for the vial skip. However, probably forgot to read his note where it said you need to keep some HP still for the skip, and actually deletes just a little bit too much from his health bar right there. And now, oh, needs to bail out at the leap of fate. So actually we'll probably lose a good, I believe, 20 to 30 seconds here. And we will see him go through this again. Yeah, okay, and he looks to be fine. Takes a little extra bonk just to be sure. Needs to dodge all of the HP drops there. And, ooh, yeah, makes it over. Alright, now he can get going to the vial skip. He's, however, not swapped over to Rolling Shield yet. Okay, does that now, so we'll be fine. Ultra, meanwhile, starting his own Sigma 1, excuse me. Also has to bail out on the skip. Ultra! Oh my god, these people. Almost takes his own debt right there, as he has a little bit of issues with the platforms. Vile, meanwhile, has engaged combat with Vile, as Zero flew off the screen. But Crystal is getting caught up on my Ultra. He's really close on his heels. And we need to look what Vile will be doing. Vile is apparently not looking to do much of a fight with Crystal. He is rather afraid and does not even shoot any projectiles at Crystal, just jumps over him a couple times, and yeah, that's about it. Took a lot of punishment and died. And speaking of dying, goodbye Zero, rip. I would have a moment of silence, but sadly we don't have time for that over here. Goodbye Zero. Boom. Oh, Crystal, little hiccup in his movement there as he starts his movement towards the Coanger. I do believe he let go of the C-Sting early, which means that he will lose its... oh yeah, no, it was actually on time, so he's just fine. File fight for Ultra. Also, just a whole lot of jumps, and... Okay, it looks like File's not fighting anyone today, because I didn't see a single shot going down on anyone. It's pretty awkward. So, Crystal, meanwhile, having a fight with Coanger. Does not seem to have any issues. Coanger going down. Crystal is kind of low in HP, so I'll have to be a bit careful on Spider. We did see him die there during practice. If anyone's a speed... Oh, misses a C-Sting charge there. So let's go too early. Oh, he does take some health refill to be safe. Probably realizing I died here during practice. Don't want to have that happen. Perhaps realizing that the Ultra is really not that far behind him. I mean, they're only a one boss and a mini section apart, so pretty nice RNG for Crystal to start off with. And Ultra getting some boomerang attacks from Coanger. Nothing too bad. Ah, gets thrown into the ceiling. Meanwhile, Crystal dealing with the baby spiders. Oh. We see Ultra taking it careful on Coanger as he went a bit low. And Crystal dealing with more baby spiders. That mommy spider really going hostile with her children. I mean, what else would you do in times of war? Just toss your children at the enemy. Seems like a legit thing to do. It's fairly questionable, but you know, we're not here to talk about ethics. So, Crystal finishes off his bow spider, carries on his merry way to the next boss in Sigma 2. A lot of RNG coming up there, and Ultra looking to take down his own bow spider. Wow, actually makes a really nice dodge do not get hit by Spider there. I actually did not know you could dodge Spider by just sliding off the wall, but does take a hit now from Spider, and he is, I believe, in kill range if he takes a body bonk from Spider. So if he gets yeah, a face tank hit, that would be quite painful. Oh, and takes a little swag slide. Oh, puts his sled in the wall and has it just slide out like goodbye sled. And Crystal, I kind of didn't look at the slides there if he got a lot of them or not, but finishing off Penguin pretty nicely, has not taken a hit yet. And now using Buster Shot to get through. And Ultra actually used the pause buffer to read this pattern, I believe. You saw that he used the pause. This means that he can look at the pattern as he's pausing and unpausing, and it gives him a little bit more time to read the pattern, to see where he needs to go to be in a safe spot, and to dodge Spider from hitting him. Meanwhile, Eagle up on Crystal side. Looks to be very nice so far. And more no dives on Eagle. As I said earlier, every time I commentate, I don't see Eagle do crap in terms of diving. So I should really do this more often. It seems to be, must be very sweet for these runners to get good RNG on that guy. Penguin, meanwhile, for Ultra, so far no dives yet. I mean, slides. It would be pretty hard to get dives from a Penguin. Does it get a couple now? 2. And we're looking for good colors of eyes on Ragnar for Crystal. Starting off with a red eye is pretty nice. That's an instant kill on one of the eyes. That's really nice. Well, does not manage to one-cycle the nose, but that's not really a big deal. He does lose track of that one eye on the left there that went off screen. It's not really a big deal, it's only one hit left. Misses a shot, but it's fine. Ragnar going down. And Crystal so far maintaining a fairly healthy lead. However, Ultra is not so far behind, and we do know that the end game here is quite terrifying. Crystal so far seems to still be quite in the game. His rust's not showing off too hard, however, we'll have to see if that remains as he goes to Sig 4, and Ultra getting dives. I probably should not have mentioned around this guy that I have not seen a lot of dives going every time I commentate. Poor Ultra seems to be getting the bad side of all the RNG here with the double passes and whatnot. So, give this man at least an applause for pulling through during tough times. Chameleon makes his comeback, as I said earlier. Well, it's always funny to watch all those years of getting slaughtered by boomerangs and he never learned. Blue eye for Ultra, that's a good start. Another blue eye for Ultra. And another blue eye for Ultra, wow. Ah! Who cares about blue eyes when you can just like smash your face into the enemies and die? Ultra not really dodging out on the nose, must have been a little bit nervous about being in the middle there. And yeah, took an extra jump to the middle and, well, died. Now have to start over, he's a little bit low on C-Sting, so even though you get 2 shots per ammo tech from this weapon, he will be running low on ammo here, so he will have to be careful with that. He's now out of takes Fire Wave. He's probably looking for a good weapon to use here. Chooses Torpedo. I guess he doesn't feel comfy using the Buster here because yeah, right. Okay, you would still be able to use Dash Lemons to deal double damage. It's a little bit harder because, of course, the eyes are not always up in the air, and of course the nose you can't really hit with a Dash Lemon because it's always hovering around, and you don't really get to dash shoot off a wall that well. But he does manage to deal with Rang on the second go, so Crystal did get a little bit of an extra lead with that, and is now dashing through on his way to Mammoth. Actually, I don't think I've ever mentioned this hallway too much right before Mammoth, but it's a fairly laggy section. Anything you do here that causes lag will really lag the game out. And runners will kind of refer to it as like the laggy hallway or whatnot. So everyone kind of has their names for stuff, mostly here and there. But if you dash through that section, you kind of want to do really short dash hops. So you dash, but you do not create dust sprites. That means that you will not be getting too much lag in that section. Otherwise, you really notice that stuff's gonna slow down. Chameleon down and D-Rex coming for Crystal. Let's see how he deals with that. Oh, instantly jumping through to the other side. Crystal being on a very active, looking to be really active here in this fight, and has a very, very quick fight with D-Rex. Oh my. Does not mess around on dealing with that guy. Meanwhile, Ultra halfway through the Sigma stage, Sigma 3 stage, right onto Mandel right now, taking down the big punching monkey, and Crystal will be moving on to his final test. Will he still be able to beat Sigma 4 like he used to? Which means free and without debts. I mean, for Crystal, it has been a fairly good race. He had one death in Sigma 1, but other than that, he's not been showing too much signs of rust. That's really nice to see. Ultra, meanwhile, again, using boomerangs on Octo, making sure he gets only one attack. And Crystal did take a couple hits here versus Valakard. This means that he's in a good position to die if things go haywire on Wolf Sigma. Even Jedi Sigma could kill him now if he messes up anywhere. Although generally Jedi Sigma is not a difficult fight, as he does the same thing over and over, so all you need to do is sit on the wall and, well, doing what Crystal is doing right now. And yeah, as you can see, Jedi Sigma not too hard. Mammoth meanwhile on Ultra side. Ultra really having pretty good of a run for himself. And Crystal, let's see, claws, what are we getting? Troll claws, good claws, lightning. Claw moving into the head. So far the left claw is quite cooperating, right claw is not running a lot of interference. Every time I try to say that, I see it happening. And Crystal finishing with a 33.04 according to RaceBot. That's a very solid time to make, really, for someone who's not played in such a long time. So GG to Crystal for taking the... Oh, Ultra! Why do you do that? God dang it! Just as he needs to do one more hit on the D-Rex, gets a giant spark ball to the face and dies. That's rather unfortunate. Dang it! This guy. And yeah, so as I was saying, GG to Crystal for taking the first race in the set. However, this game is not yet over, but runners do have a set going, so they need to go and take 2 wins to take the match. So Ultra did some Buster strats on D-Rex and then swaps over to Boomerang. He was low on Boomerang ammo, so he did not want to start out with Boomerangs. If you do go low on Boomerangs and die on D-Rex, you want to start out with Buster, because the later you go into the fight with D-Rex, the lower his HP gets, the faster and the more aggressive his attacks are. So, yeah. If you have your stronger weapon available, you should keep it for the end of that fight, logically. And that's what the Ultra did, so that's good on him. So Ultra climbing up to his final fight, making a little slide back down, maybe a little bit scared, like, oh no, I don't want to fight Sigma, he's scary. I mean, he is kind of scary, that's true. So, Sigma telling us once again how he's gonna go and send his dog at us. And Ultra taking a little bit of some risky movement right there, going into the dog. Kind of want to do the strategy where you have quick hits on the Valgarder. That means that you would get a lot of fast hits, but it would definitely not be safe, because that does mean that Valgar has a higher chance to hit you. It's very good for PBs because you can take the risk, take damage and deal damage, and then you just need to be well on point for the final Sigma fight. However, in a race, it's definitely risky to go for that. Meanwhile, even though they're not quite done yet, I see a little bit of going back and forth in the SRL chat between the two of these. Ultra a little bit disappointed that he feels like he didn't really have a chance here, but that's not true. I mean, Crystal did have a good run here for himself, but there's still more to go. Oh, Crystal, Ultra, I mean, oh, that's bad. I mean, right at the start of this fight, he uses his sub tank and then instantly takes 2 hits, meaning that he does have to be careful. Just needs to remain calm. He does have time to he does have time to finish, I wanted to say, but he drops off the claw, and right as he slips off, the claw decides to move and take him out. That is quite unfortunate. He will now be using his charged rolling shield to hang over this little spawning pool of mini worms, whatever you're supposed to call them. Okay, Ultra kind of not picking up strobs there. It was quite odd. I would think the hitbox of them was big enough, but yeah, he will be taking a moment to farm up and then go back into the fights. I will personally also take this relaxing moment of farming to farm myself a little bit of a drink, because, you know, all this talking. Alright, so we have Ultra going back into his final fights, going up against Valgarder, and once more actually. Well, taking a pretty good fight against Valgarder, doing some pretty fast hits and taking him down pretty nicely. He did take a bit less damage this time around. That means he will be at a better point when he actually gets to final Wolf Sigma. So now we just have to do the wall climbing game again with Jedi. Oop. Slips off the wall there for a second. It's always painful. Jedi Sigma is not necessarily a hard. Always does the same pattern over and over. However, if you do actually hit him, he is quite a bulldozer. He runs right through your hit points, and I mean, that deals a lot of damage if he bonks into you. So, Jedi exploding. So, Wolf Sigma, take 2. We're not in a position to take any hits, so I expect he will sub-tank again right at the start of this fight, which he does. And let's see. The claw giving him a little lift to get up. That's always nice. Oh. It's a bit of lightning. Ultra looks a little bit nervous for me. Perhaps because, you know, he just died here, and honestly this fight is pretty rough. You know that any hits on you mean that you will be getting close to that, but he does finish his run with an SRL time of 39:40. Good run on Ultra. Definitely looking forward to more of that. So, GG to both of these guys. And I guess we will take a look whether they want to take a little break between these two races that they will be having, or 3 races, you know. And then we will be getting back to the next race pretty soon. Because as I did mention before, this is a set, this is a best of 3, so we're far from done. Let's give a little cheer for both the runners and see where we will be going. I would suggest to everyone in the chat to please slap Ultra in the face and not give up. We don't want people giving up here. Jeez, get this runner off the stage. We're gonna kick this guy back on the stage, back into the racing experience. We don't want anyone giving up. We want to see some good races here. That's what we want. So we will have the rematch pretty soon, but we will have like a mini break. So if anyone a couple of minutes for food or drinks or toilet breaks, you will have that time. The runners did agree to have a short break for themselves as well. So if anyone was short on resources for their viewing experience, now would be a good time to refill your own stock. Meanwhile, I will take a look if I have any updates on the other race, if we have seen, if we had word yet of our other runners, and whether there has been an idea for rescheduling yet. But I see there's been no update yet on those two. Colonel Fato is still around, however, it seems we have that rematch will not be for today. If you actually enjoy watching all of the MMX tournament, this is actually then the only race that we will be having today, I suppose. But tomorrow on Sunday, December 17th, we will be having a lot of races coming up in the evening. There will be 4 races from several groups. We will have a race of Thunderface versus Star Surfer, a race of Chasmazots versus Valves 22, Energy Zam versus Hazy Perspective, and Torta Diego versus Mdois. So tomorrow will be full of races and runs from MMX on favorite speed gaming channels. I'm sure you will find your way here. If you've not yet followed these channels, I don't know how you got here, but you probably should. Meanwhile, also a little thanks to our restreamer, Clifford CS, or however it's, wait, what is it? Or Clifford TVRD on Twitch, for helping out with the restream and all. It's always very kind that the speed gaming crew is ready to host tournaments and help people out to get a nice viewing experience. Really bringing the speedrunning communities into the public. How else would we gain fame and glory if it were not for speed gaming? Because, you know, these guys, they always want to put a lot of focus on the runners, but, you know, they're always there. They're like, you know, runners are the main people that we have over here doing all of the work and the commentary, of course, but they'd almost take no credit for all the work they put in themselves, which is definitely worth mentioning. Meanwhile, we see Ultra having a little playing around with Spider. He had a little bit of a terrible experience with that earlier in the week, or was it last weekend? I think it was, yeah, it was last weekend. Ultra actually took a game over to both Spider, and probably wants to make sure he has no issues with it this time around when he goes back the second race against Crystal. It's always good to know where your strengths. Oh, well, those baby spiders though did not like Ultra. I'll land it right on his face. You know, it's really good to know your strengths as a runner. Like, what am I good at? What am I gonna be good at? But it's always good to know where your weaknesses are and how to cover them up. So Ultra is doing just that. Meanwhile, I see that both runners have entered the race again on the SRL chat. So I assume that we will be going shortly. At least if Ultra notices in the middle of his dodging party. We'll keep you guys up to date. Meanwhile, it can be fun for viewers always to take a little look, you know, at Spider. I personally thought it was a fun thing to do while I was watching people run this game, was trying to read the Spider patterns for myself. This was something I even did before I speedran the game for myself, was let's see if I can actually read the pattern while they are playing. Of course, it's a lot different while you are playing, but it's still cool to see for yourself, like, can I do this? Would I have issues with it? Of course, there's more multitasking. Well, while you're playing, you may have to be dodging spiders while still dodging that out. You already have to read the patterns. It's not so easy, but you know, bit of practice, or simply if you're good at perception and spot things easily, that will be quite fine. Meanwhile, I do see that we have people readying up for race number 2. This means that I will have to jump off my chair in just a second, because we will have race 2 going on. I'm now looking to see whether either Crystal will be closing out the race, or the match between the two of them, or if Ultra will even it out to a 1-1 and still attempts to take out Crystal today. It does look like Ultra's not very convinced of his chances, but you know, let's give this man a little cheer in the chat. We all know he's in there. Let's show this man that he is not alone, that he has a chance, that he has to believe in himself, he has to believe in not getting 2 passive Bs right now, and he has to get good RNG, and it's just gonna smash the entire game. Of course, Crystal on his own end will do his best as well to smash out a really good run, and having a little bonk with that one blue guy again at the very start of the game, just like he had last run. It was a little bit awkward. And Crystal gets it. Oh god, we already see passive Bs incoming for Ultra, and that is not a good omen. I guess I cursed this man when I promised when I wanted to do that. Oh, wait, what? Oh! Ultra actually taking a detour for HP in the intro stage. Oh, and then he gets trolled with drops. Oh, wow. Oh my. Excuse me laughing, but that is kind of... that is the game, just straight up trolling you right there. He had a little bit of a mashing not going right, hitting the blue guy, and then he thinks, I want to have some HP for safety, gets no drops of the walkers, picks it up, and then the respawn of the walkers gave him all of that. Wow. Yeah, that's just not a nice game. So someone gift this man a new MMX card, because that's just a corrupt card for sure. So Crystal meanwhile already looking to get a ship going. Actually manipulates the ship quite well to be in position. And Ultra meanwhile attempting to chase that one car, but yeah, let's be fair. Man or robot does not catch up to a car easily, and he now does have a lot of HP, but he tanks it down on the final car, so that's not really a big deal. He gets a pretty decent start to his run. It's not ideally what he wants, but you know, there's not much he could have done. The game kind of trolled him here. He did get a 221 grab out of file. That's something he will be disappointed with, but you know, give this man some love in the chat, because he needs to get going, needs to go hard. And with that, we start to run over back into Maverick stages. On to Chill Penguin. See, Crystal also having his share of bonks here. His run is actually legit cursed now. Some people claim that an early 1-up in your run is a blessing for your run. But personally, I'm a firm believer that if the game gives you an early 1-up in the run, that your run is cursed. So the fact that Crystal got a 1-up means that the game's telling him you're gonna need it. So we're just looking forward into, you're gonna die at some point, we just don't know where yet. So you can all have your bets on where people will die, or well, Crystal. Because, I mean, right now Ultra needs to move fast and he has no time for such a thing. And as we see that, so yeah, we know Ultra a little bit behind because of the intro trolling, and Crystal picking up his dash boots, picking up that speed, will now be on his way, moving fast towards Chill Penguin. Which, for some reason, I never call him Jerkbird number 1, even though I always call Eagle Jerkbird number 2. Yeah, we see Crystal no messing around, goes top per out. Ultra picking up his dash boots, now has a speed as well. Can get going on to the Penguin door too. Little mech strat, it's always nice to see. It's like the only place in the game where a mech really has a use. Normally it's faster, slower, but in the Penguin stage it actually has a use. Snowballers doing a couple hits to Ultra, and Crystal meanwhile getting a couple slides from Penguin, who does not really feel like letting him go easily. And there we go, a 449 kill for Crystal. Jeez, that is a good time to get in a race. That is even a good acceptable time for people actually running this game. A 4x is just really good. Yeah, that's right. Never surrender. Tell this guy to man up. Ow! Ultra! Oh my god, this guy. Oh, Jesus. My poor heart. This guy is just playing with our hearts right now. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna just sit here on this wall right above Penguin's head. If he jumps up, I'm dead. But, you know, it's probably not gonna happen. I'll take the chance. But, you know, everyone might just get a heart attack right here. So, I mean, this guy must work for an insurance company, because I know what I have to pay just went up by 50% right after that. Jesus. Oh. Crystal meanwhile moving on through the Kuwanger stage, got his turtle skip and is now glitching his way through the elevator. Oh, all calculated, Jesus. I don't know about calculated on Ultra's end, but perhaps someone should tell him that penguins are not exactly mad geniuses taking the chances correctly. Phew. My god. He does navigate through his turtles pretty nicely, so he took a bit of damage so far, not really a big deal. And Crystal, compared to his first run, I believe he did not use a lot of ice during his outside climb, but he seemed to prefer that this time around. And Ultra gets a little bit of a health refill on his elevator, so he will be good to go to the neck to the rest of the stage. And Crystal is looking for his dance partner here, so let's see if he would like to take this dance. And yeah, he does. Crystal also nicely centered in the stage, does not really need to bother moving around anymore during the entirety of this fight. We'll just stand there, making this almost look like the chameleon fight, except with a lot of teleports. And finishes off Kuwanger. Just like that. As Ultra enters, also looking if Kuwanger would like to have a little dance with him. So really just a boss fight apart between these two, though that's not too much. A lot of stuff can happen here. Ultra dashing deep into the Kuwanger sprite right there at the start of the fight. Just nicely get his dance going. And Kuwanger giving him short teleports. That's really nice to see. That means he does save a little bit of time on that. If Kuwanger gives you long during teleports, because he keeps teleporting from far left to far right, it does lose you a bit of time. And Crystal trying not controlled in the chameleon cave here. Reap's cave for the beamers. Before you want to ask me what the Reap's cave is, no one actually knows. I can't answer this question. I one day went to Mr. Reeves' channel and I asked him, Reeves, why is this called the Reeves Cave? And he told me, I don't even know. My chat came up with it and it's a complete mystery. It's just a little fun fact here you might want to know about this game. Sometimes, you know, things just can't be explained. So, Ultra on his own way to this cave. Took one little bonk, nothing too bad. And Crystal onto Chameleon. Oh! Landed a little bit odd there. Actually, Chameleon jumping around this room is dependent on your position and his position. Depending on where you are from each other determines in which direction you will be jumping. So if you are on the wrong side or something of him, he might actually just jump the other way of what you're expecting and cost you like an extra second because you're like, oops. Also, yes, mech strats. During my explanation, I actually missed them. Excuse me for that. Mech strats, hype! Now we have a couple elevating sections here, moving on up in the eagle stage, literally. For once, you have a climbing section that is not highly technical. Let's see if Crystal brushes up on this movement. Goes for no dead kick for Crystal. Takes a little pause even on the platform. Does not want to risk taking any deaths. Apparently, taking this race serious. You know, there's a lot of people who will always go ham on their strats, race or not. But Crystal is actually fairly serious about his gameplay when he plays. Like, he's not gonna mess around if he knows, well, this is high risk, low reward play. I don't really see him doing it. This guy not looking to mess around. Oh. Ultra, meanwhile, having a little close-up meeting with that one flyer guy. And Eagle coming in for Crystal. And there we see the Eagle that we know and don't love at all. You do 2 hits on him and he starts diving just like the little butt that he is. Well, he is quite big for a little butt, but there we go. Stops his dives and gets a final hit from Crystal, who will have lost a little bit of time to this. So if Ultra does get a no dive eagle here, he will gain a little bit of time on Crystal for sure. Password screen passing by, and Mandrill stage getting selected for Crystal. And boat runners seem to be staying quite on pace, to be fair. They are still pretty much a boss fight apart, maybe a little bit more. And I will try to do a comparison on how far apart that they really are by now. I will look when both players enter the Thunder Slimer screen here to see how much time we have exactly between the two of them. And yeah, we did see that Ultra got the better RNG here. No dives if I'm not mistaken. And Thunder Slimer was entered at about 12:09 for Crystal. Perhaps it would even be a better comparison time if we looked when he dies, which is 12:21. And Ultra taking the same route, meaning that we can actually compare to that. So we had a 12:21 kill on Thunder Slimer for Crystal. Let's see what that amounts up to over on Ultra side. Crystal meanwhile dodging through all the enemies. Ultra also dodging through all the enemies. Most of the enemies are actually stationary on the stage. You have a couple things moving around, but it's not too bad. Oh, and Ultra getting stuck in some slime balls right there. Not really a fun experience. And gets a kill on 13:12, meaning that we have about a 50-second difference between boat runners right now. Crystal with a decent lead. For sure, he is comfortable for now. He could potentially even take him any debt and still be alright. That's quite fine for him to be in of a position. Ultra taking up a safeties, does like to take a little hard here and there. And Mandrill is one of those that you really don't need to spend a lot of time getting, so why not? It's 100% strat as well to get this hard really easily, so not really a big deal for him, as he is more used to running Hundo from the time where he was very actively running this game. Just a little side thing about Ultra, he is actually someone that played a lot of X1 when he started in the X series, but he did at some point move over to play more of X4, which is more of his main game right now. And he will stay play X1, but he does enjoy his share of X4. So, Mandrill going down. Tried to punch Ultra out of the arena a couple times, but he dealt with that pretty well. And he did go a bit low on HP, inside a potential kill range for Mandrill, but he did not die. And Crystal pulling out a pretty cool tornado strat to kill that one ball and chain guy. Actually something I really enjoy seeing, and I might just have to note that down and steal it. Someone note that down. But we have a little bit of a route divergence here, because we did come out of Mandrill, and Crystal chooses to go Mammoth, as Ultra goes and chooses Dillo. So we see the two runs split up a little bit, and they will actually not come to the same route again until they go to Sigma 1, at which point we will really see again how they are comparing to each other. But we do know that there was a bit under a minute of difference between the two of them in Mandrill. Crystal moving on out, passing another password screen, and moving to the Dillo stage again. This is very similar to what we saw in the first race, where both of them were on the Dillo stage at the same time, only Ultra was a little bit further into the stage on the first go around. That's really alright. Both of them enjoying quite a nice time in Dillo's amusement park, full of cart rides. The best part is that you don't even have to pay. All you have to do is kill some people and the ride's free. Please do not try this in real life. That is not that is not the way it's supposed to work. This is only okay in video games. So Ultra on Dillo, get some rolls. Rolls on Dillo, never cool to get. Oh, gets even more rolls. Dillo wanting to have some time bouncing around this room before he goes and dies. Was his final wish. And Crystal despawning his birds and making his own way towards the Dillo room. Ultra moves on out, Crystal moves on in. It's like they practiced this together as a show. And Ultra will be moving to Octo as a 7th Maverick, while Crystal fights Dillo and gets a couple extra dies out of Dillo, at least one extra cycle, so it's again a little bit better RNG that we saw on the Ultra side here. Oh, a really cool hit there from Crystal. He shot Spark on the wall, so it was still there when Dillo left his, and it instantly blocked him out of that animation where he gets out of the rolling. That's pretty cool. So that means we have 7 Maverick and Crystal looking to close out his 8 Mavs as he moves on to Octo. Really making a strong appearance here. Ooh, Ultra, nice try there. Actually taking a high rep missiles and nearly getting through without getting hit. Most people go as low as possible, but it's actually, I guess, possible to go on top as well. It's just the likelihood of taking no bonks is, I believe, higher when you go low. So, boat runners will, I suppose, be opting in again for the no arms octopus fight, and we will see that as we see boomerangs ready on Ultra side. Oh, to cut off the arms from Octo, and that makes this fight pretty easy. Oh, he does take a little, couple bonks from Ultra. Takes a lot of bonks. It tries to make sure that there is no danger by cutting off the arms, and did take a couple extra hits. It's worth to mention that all those missiles can block your rolling shield and destroy your own shot. So that is actually one difficulty that you do get with this attack. And Ultra almost paid the price for that, as a lot of his shots went blocked, and then, yeah, taking a couple bonks that he didn't really want to. But he used a sub-tank, so he was okay, but I mean, it's worth to mention that you don't really want to sub-tank here, you really want to keep it for later. He will have to look if he can refill it anywhere now, and he goes back onto the top of Mammoth stage. Not messing around. He's like, I don't want to go to that bottom route, like, whatever, I'm gonna be a memer and I'm gonna take the top route on Mammoth. So the entire stage is a giant pit below him now. You see that the colors are distorted. Yeah, but it's not really a big deal. As soon as you get past that giant pit of doom there that he just passed, the stage actually returns to normal. And Crystal finished Octo, meaning that he has passed all of his Maverick stages and can now definitely move on to the Sigma stages. Looking to go strong. Makes the leap of fate, very clean. And tanks his HP down appropriately this time, no issues whatsoever. He learned from his mistakes in race number 1. So now looking for a good vial skip. Ultra meanwhile on Mammoth, which is his final Maverick. And there we go, a 2048 Mav for Ultra. Still a very respectable time. And vial skip in progress on Crystal side. Gets the quick skip. There's a couple different results to the skip, where you can get a very fast text box scroll where the second text box doesn't even pop up. or potentially anything else. You can have the 0 profile picture sticking on the screen and then getting replaced by the file picture. So there's a couple different results in there, but the thing that you really want is that the one text box never even shows and that you don't really see a lot of stuff going in. Crystal takes a lot of damage from Vile. I did mention before that Vile, even though perhaps not the most dangerous enemy, if he does hit you with a body bonk, he does legit 50% of your HP in damage, so he hits like a truck when he smashes himself into you. Oh, no, Ultra gets an HP drop, and he didn't really want that, obviously, right here, but yeah, he accidentally picks it up, and it means that he will have lost a couple extra seconds bonking down. It's not too bad because, you know, this is any percent, and he doesn't have the armor, so everything hits pretty hard. But, you know, still, everything counts, especially being a little bit behind. He doesn't want too much time loss going in. Oh, no, 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 no. Oof. This looks really dangerous. Ultra let go of the start button. And, oh, Crystal dies to Guanger! Actually, I didn't see exactly how it happened, but that means he gets a fairly big setback. And no! No! Ultra soft lock! No! God damn it! Things go wrong everywhere. This is the second. That's really unfortunate. Ultra will have to reset his console through the password screen, get back in, and have to start Sigma 1 over, including all of the cutscenes. That's not really something you want. However, good for him is that we see that Crystal again took a lot of HP and damage already, so there's still a shot for him, definitely. He doesn't have to be too scared. There's still a lot of places where things could even go wrong for Crystal, who does not get the health drop this time, so he is actually fairly take on Bow Spider. Oh crap. And oh, sorry, my restream dropped for one sure moment. Apologize me for that. So we see Ultra going back to the Vile skip as Crystal needs to deal with baby spiders. Ultra getting captured and gets through the skip, no problem. Meanwhile, Crystal, some good RNG on Bow Spider, gets a fairly easy pattern there. Actually gets pretty decent patterns to deal with, not too much danger in these. And actually gets a really good fight and Spider goes down. Very nice. Vile, now the opponent for Ultra. Takes an extra little hit there right at the end, bonking right into Vile, and you saw his HP getting obliterated. Now fairly low, will have to be a little bit careful as he moves on to Gowanger that he does not take a death. And Crystal starting in Sigma 2 now. We're looking for this stage again as well to see what kind of time it can make up between these runners, as there is a whole ton of RNG to be had in this stage, and that can really make a big difference. What? No, Ultra! He dies. But it looks like Ultra wanted to die. There was low on HP, he took a hit while on his way there. He knows that dying here is a very minor setback, while if he dies on Gowanger it will be pretty big, because he will have done his entire climb. So he probably thought the lower risk is to die here and refill my HP, which he did. So it's all calculated, don't worry. He prefers to take a guaranteed small time loss over taking the danger of a big time loss. Let's be fair here. He made a good decision for himself. He knows, look, maybe my Gowanger fight's not the best, so I'm just gonna play it safe here and take whatever is the lower risk. With that, we did see that he took a little bit of damage here outside of the Gowanger door and on the boss itself, so let's be fair, he could have died here if he did not fill up his HP or got a HP drop. So it was a good thing to do for him. Meanwhile, Crystal not getting too bad RNG in Sigma 2. Now killing off Eagle and on his way to Rangda. And Ultra needs to be on point here. As I mentioned earlier, he was practicing bow spider in between races as he had some bad experiences with it recently. So he will have to make sure to maintain his posture, not get too nervous, and kill spider as fast as he can. Getting a lot of baby spiders is not gonna be nice for that, and spider throwing some extra out right there in the middle of the air is really not so cool. Crystal meanwhile going quite quickly through those eyes, get some good patterns for himself to deal with, and we see Rangda exploding. Meanwhile, Ultra halfway through the bow spider fight seems to have taken it a little bit slower than he really wants to, just to make sure that he's going to be safe. But one more hit will do it, then Spider will go down. But Crystal, now the entirety of Sigma 2 ahead of Ultra. This is looking pretty safe for him so far, but let's not be too hasty. We still have Sigma coming up, it's really dangerous. Well, there's still a lot of potential for anyone to go down in this race, and well, if Crystal makes some big mistakes, Ultra can still catch up. With that, we see him go into Sigma 2 as Crystal faces his first boss. Well, technically a second boss on a Sigma 3, but we do skip Dillo here. I kind of assume... Oh, thank you for timing the spider kills for the two of them. I did not actually go and track it, but yeah, a 3-minute difference is pretty big. That's definitely a safe advantage. Things have to go very poorly for Crystal to get a catch-up for Ultra, but you know, it's not impossible. I mean, let's take a look at last week's race of Ultra when he faced me and I died 3 times on Sigma 4. Let's be fair, this category is not safe for anyone. Okay, Crystal's not me, and he's definitely a cat a tier higher, but you know, you never know, no one's free from danger, right? I mean, to put it that way, even the king in his kingdom could get run over by a car if he didn't look before crossing the street. And Ultra pulling off some nice gap jumps there on Sigma 2 on his way to Eagle. Dang. Yes, 3 times. Do not mention it. I am very ashamed of myself. Well, I mean, I'm the one that mentioned it, but... So, Eagle wants to give Ultra some dives, you know, adding insult to injury. And meanwhile, Crystal cutting the arms off of Octopus, making sure that he cannot get any bad RNG going. And 2 Mavericks exploding, kind of in sync. Octopus and Eagle going down. And Crystal moves on to Mammoth, Ultra moves on to Rangda. So Crystal will not have to look for too much RNG stuff here into Mandrill, as he's not a very harmful boss. However, Crystal did take a couple hits in the stage, so perhaps he needs to be a little bit careful not to let go of himself, as T-Rex can be a pain if you have some bad luck with his patterns, but you know. And meanwhile, Ultra actually making nice work of those eyes and only added 1 more hit for the nose, meaning that he gets a really nice finish onto Rangda. And Crystal actually gets a very forgiving D-Rex pattern here with the spark charging up. If D-Rex is a chomp attack and you go and stand on his lower end, then you actually force his RNG, because he will always do a second chomp attack to attack you while you're standing down there. Meaning that Crystal knew he had a free end to that fight there. There was no danger for him at all. Got pretty profitable RNG to work with, so the fight was pretty easy. Ultra blazing his way now through the Sigma 3 stage, trying to catch up, but we will have to look for Crystal now to make a mistake, to have any hope for Ultra to stay in on this. Now, I do want to say I hope for a third race in this set. I'd really like to see them race again. However, on the other hand, you know, I'm in their group. If Ultra loses, I'm going to brackets. Oh gosh. So, I don't know. Crystal taking a bit of his time on the dog. You know, Crystal is really able to pull out a fast strat on his dog and play it kind of risky. But as I said earlier in this race, Crystal is someone that takes his racing serious, and he's looking to win no matter the circumstances. He even said, "Yeah, I'm quite rusty. I didn't play for a long time, but you know what? It doesn't really matter because I'm still good at this game, and I'm not gonna take risks." Like he doesn't take high risk, low reward plays. So he plays it safe on the dog, takes no hits, and wants to have all of his resources available for final Sigma. Ultra quickly picking up some HP before Octo. Wants to have full sub tanks for his final fights. Seeing the HP of Octo fill at the same time of Sigma. Well, let's be honest here that if Crystal dies, he will very likely need the second death for Ultra to catch up. But so far, the RNG's getting is not all that bad. Oh, he does take a lightning hit. That's dangerous. So he needs to be careful. And he dies! Crystal goes down! Nice! We might still have Ultra catching back up. Excuse me for any headphone users, but I really like to see that because that makes the race a bit more exciting. Chances are, Crystal needs to farm now. Ultra can't catch up, and dang, that means that by the time Crystal is refilled his ammo, he needs a bit more. That Ultra will be getting pretty close to Sigma 4. And you know, if Crystal puts this in his mind like, oh dear, I can't have this happen again, then you know, if he tilts a little bit, this can become quite interesting. Yeah, and it's not even if he tilts, because you know this final fight with the claws. I mean, one little mistake on where you're standing means a lightning right on your foot, and that takes down most of your HP, and it gets so dangerous. And we do see Crystal taking a lot of damage here on Falcorder. Oh my, he's at 2 HP. Like, we just saw Crystal take on Sigma with a lot of HP, so he was able to take an extra hit. But at this point, he's not gonna be able to take any hits at all. Any mistake right now equals death. When we do see Ultra, he's going into Sigma 4. This is very nice to see, because you need to realize if Crystal dies here, he will have to farm again for ammo, just like he did now. This will cost him a lot of time, and Ultra has brought safety items. So we'll have to see what's going on here. Oh my! Let's take a look. Will the claw stroll Crystal or not? Will he get hit by a lightning or any projectile flying around? Will the right claw interfere and smash him to bits? Oh, Crystal almost gets hit by that claw as it freezes midair. He really wants to be careful here. Right claw coming in, wants to be safe. Gets quite a lot of lightning, but he's dealing appropriately with it. And he finishes the run on a 35.08. Officially, RaceBot declares him a 35.09. Oh my, Crystal. Dear lord. He kept it a little bit exciting. Wow. But he decided, you know, I'm gonna a chance. And he was like, yeah, I didn't really want to give him a chance. And he finished that race. Oh boy, Crystal. We have to say, good job on him. That means he takes the race today, and he moves one step closer to his first place in this group. with Ultra, me, and Sven Craig. Oh boy. And Ultra, meanwhile, looking for his final fight with Sigma as well. Looking to get some good RNG for himself and no trolley claws, hopefully. And I have to say it was really close. I mean, the way Crystal started this fight. Ooh, Crystal? Ultra. Oh, that's a half sub tank, but ooh. Look at that damage. You can see that lightning when you look at the HP bar on Ultra. His HP bar just evaporates by like 60%. Alright. So, we do have Ultra finishing with an official raised ball time of 36:34. That means Crystal taking the lead here. 2-0, finishing the race. Yeah. I'm taking a look for interviews, but it will appear that Crystal will not be joining the interview, unfortunately. GG to both runners though. Ultra will be here in a second. Crystal will be moving out. Yeah, because for for Crystal, he lives in the Middle East, so it's fairly late right now. It's midnight for the man, and he has class tomorrow, so he will be going to bed. However, it is very good on him.
What's up?
I didn't say hi to you yet, Ultra. No. Hello, Ultra. Welcome. And yeah. How unfortunate. Crystal telling us he hasn't played in a long time. He's going to be rusty. This guy popping out good times like 33.
Yep.
Like it's nothing.
Exactly.
How did you feel going into the first race, and how do you feel after the set is over?
Well, I'm done with 80%. I won't be playing any X1 anymore for a while again. But the first race, I saw how Crystal's doing, and I'm like, wow, all right, this, I was trying to go. I didn't go armor this time. I felt like I did actually pretty good without armor, except for the last race where I died 3 times.
Yeah.
This race, I probably had a better chance. If I didn't soft lock, that was a big problem.
Yeah, I saw your start menu going open during the scene with Vi. I was like, oh no, this is pretty bad, because at this point, I don't know if you could have avoided the soft lock anymore.
No. Once you press start, that's when if you didn't press start, I had dropped my controller, and when I picked it back up, I was trying to hold start right away, but I forgot that don't do that, and it was already too late. I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. It could have been pretty close without that. Crystal actually got very close to giving you a run here, because he did die on Final Sigma. And on his second fight with Final Sigma, when you initially want to jump up on the wall to get on the claw, he jumped up and the claw stopped right above his head, and I think he was only a few pixels away of jumping into it a second time.
I could have won that then.
Yeah, if he died there, you probably would have taken race number 2. So it actually got a few pixels away from that.
I could have PB'd actually if it wasn't for the soft lock in this one. I apparently after Sigma 1, I ended up golden all of my splits afterwards. So
yeah.
Oh well, that's fine. It's 80% for you guys, so
Yeah, it's pretty deadly. Anyway, I am being notified that we have a pretty busy schedule on speed gaming for today. So
everybody enjoy the time and keep watching the races.
Yeah, it will be a GG to both the runners. Thank you to the Speed Gaming crew for hosting us. Thank you everyone for watching in. We have more matches tomorrow on Sunday for different sets. The first one starting at 7:30 p.m. EST. You can find all of the MMX info on the race bot odds here, or on the bots in the chat if you type !MMX. I think that will be it for us for now. And I would say take a little look at the speed gaming schedule. We have Super Mario Odyssey coming right up. So I'm going to say thank you to the runners, speed gaming crew. This has been Dragonar on commentary. And yeah, that will be it for me. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. And
peace.
Go fast. Sometimes. Good night.